Hey guys, so this is the start of a reading vlog. So I've seen a bunch of people do different like themed reading vlogs, and I've even seen some people who have, you know, I think I just watched Gabby like have her sister pick her TBR. I think Kayla's done like a my husband picks my TBR. So, and I know that probably somebody has done a my niece or nephew pick my TBR, but that's what I'm doing for this week. So, I wanted to go over the books that I'm going to be reading this week. I'm trying to read 7 books in 7 days. We shall see. And I had my niece pick all of these books for me. So I used the TBR machine prompt thing to pick 7 prompts, and then I gave my niece books based off of those prompts. So let's get started. So for prompt number 1, it was a book with LGBTQIA plus representation, and for this I gave my niece the options of The Death of Vivek Oji by Oweke Emeze, We Ride Upon Sticks by Kwan Berry, Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado, and Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashardoust. Prompt number 2 was read a book with mental illness representation. And her options were Lucinda Berry's The Perfect Child, The Color of B. Larkham's Murder by Sarah J. Harris, Brunch and Other Obligations by Suzanne Nugent, and The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. The next book was a horror prompt, and I gave her the options of Pet Sematary by Stephen King, The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon, Near the Bone by Christina Henry, and The Patient by Jasper Dwight. Then we had a Goodreads Choice Award nominee or winner, and the 4 choices she had for that were Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, and Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. The next prompt was a book with a red cover, and her options for this were Vicious by V.E. Schwab, Ace of Spades by Ferda, I'm going to butcher that name, you'll see the picture, The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons, and House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. The next was a contemporary romance, and for this she had the options of People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, and The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And final prompt was a sci-fi, and for this she had the options of Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, 6 Weeks by Mur Lafarty, The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters, and Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. So for the prompt of LGBTQIA plus representation, she chose The Death of Vivek Oji by Oweke Emeze, and so I will be reading that one this week. For mental illness representation, she chose The Color of B. Larkham's Murder by Sarah J. Harris. For a horror book, she picked Pet Sematary by Stephen King. For a book with red on the cover, she picked House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. For a romance book, she picked The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And for a science fiction book, she picked The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters. And for the Goodreads Choice Award winner, she picked Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So those are the books that I will be reading for this week. And I'm actually quite excited. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with reading those. And I will come in and let you know when I've reached the 25% mark. I think I'm going to start with The Death of Vivek OG. Okay, guys. So I am about 53% of the way through The Death of Vivek OG. And I'm slightly confused. So I knew that there was LGBTQ representation in this. Have no problem with that. The issue that I'm having is these cousins are like have feelings for each other, which is weird to me. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. The writing is nice. I like the writing. I think that the characters are fairly well fleshed out, and I think that they're good characters. But I'm really turned off to this book by that feels incesty to me. Am I wrong? Am I missing that they're not actual cousins? Because from what I can tell, they're first cousins. So if they're first cousins, that's just a little weird to me. But anyways, I'm gonna keep reading and hopefully find some other answers. And right now, this is that put it down to a 2-star for me right now. But before that, I was gonna give it a 3.5. It wasn't bad. It's just not fantastic in my opinion. But the incest, though, if that's really cousins together, that's weird to me. So anyways, I'm gonna keep reading and I will update you guys when I'm done. Good morning. So I did finish The Death of Vivek OG yesterday, and I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. I gave it 2.75 on Storygraph. I feel like the book was beautifully written, and the subject matter is things that we need to talk about. The problems that I had with it were more that the incest thing really just didn't work for me. That, and then I don't know, it just felt a little, I don't know the best way to explain. The book made me very uncomfortable, which is probably a good thing. But at the same time, when I'm reading books, I do rate books based on my enjoyment. And it's not that I hated my time reading the book, because I didn't. But I also did not have a fun time reading this book. So anyways, let's kind of go over some of the bigger things. So the characters, we have our main characters, Vivek and his cousin. His name starts with an O, and I can't pronounce it. But these two were raised as brothers almost, and they both are trying to come into their own about who they love, who they want to be as people. And I thought that part of this was phenomenal. I also think that this book just didn't really have a whole lot of plot other than us trying to figure out what happened to make Vivek OG die. And we do get that resolution by the end, but the plot was very, very slow moving. So if you need a faster plot, this would probably not be the book for you. I felt like some of our side characters were interesting enough, but they weren't super important to the story. So we just have, Vivek and I want to say his name's like Osita or something like that. Anyways, and then you have their parents, and they're the only sons of these parents. And you just see the different dynamics of the families, which was interesting. I think my biggest problem is just that this book moved so slow, and then the incest just really brought it down for me. So those are my biggest critiques. Now, if you love beautiful writing and you love very messed up characters, and these characters were messed up in the way that they had these societal pressures put on them, like we all do, and they felt the need to hide parts of themselves from their families. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, this might be a book for you. So now I'm moving on to book 2 of this week, and I think I'm going to be starting Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I'm a scaredy cat, so I'm going to try to get it read throughout most of today. If I don't finish before, this afternoon, which I probably won't, but we'll see. If I don't finish before this afternoon, then I'm going to put it down, read something else, and then I will pick this one back up tomorrow, because I can't read scary books at night because I'm a scaredy cat. So, anyways, that's my plan for today. Okay, guys, so it has been quite a few days since I last updated you. So I did finish Pet Sematary last night. It took me forever to read this one because the pacing for me was so slow. It was, I don't know, like, there were some creepy elements to the book, but I really think that the pacing is what really just threw it off for me. So I don't really know what to say about this book. I gave it like 2.5 stars because, like, the overall plot I thought was well done. The characters were decent. I mean, like, in terms of like diversity or any kind of like representation, there wasn't a whole lot. It was just basically a white upper middle class family. So like that part was just okay. So I mean, this is really just like a middle of the road book to me. But I found this book very, very slow. And that is what really brought the whole rating down for me. So after I finished Pet Cemetery, I started the X Talk last night. I'm not far in. I think I'm maybe 20 pages. So I'm going to try to get that one completed today, and then hopefully also get the color of Brie Larkham's murder also completed today. And then that'll leave, let's see, so that would make 4. Then I have to finish Project Hail Mary, The Policeman, and House of Earth and Blood. So really, I'm going to try to get through all of the X Talk, all of The Color of Brie Larkham's Murder, and Project Hail Mary today. Woo. Guys, this is going to be pushing it. We'll see if I can do it. Okay, guys, so I just finished the X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a fun little rom-com, and it was just fun. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was definitely a much needed palate cleanser from Pet Cemetery, because that one was just so boring and slow. This one moved very fast, which is probably like my only critique, is that the relationship happened quickly but not. Anyways, but I did think it was fun overall, so that was nice. So the next book that I am moving on to is actually The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters. I've already started this one, but I found the audiobook for it, and I'm going to continue reading this. So I am about 20% of the way through The Last Policeman, and I want to try to finish that, probably not this evening, but I will finish it definitely in the morning. But I want to get a good ways through it. I kind of like to get over halfway, but we'll see. I don't think I'm going to finish all 7 books by tomorrow evening, but we'll see. We shall see. If I do this, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. So, anyways, I will check back in with you guys in the morning. Okay, guys, so I just finished The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters, and I enjoyed it. It's definitely like it's a bit of a sci-fi, but mostly like a mystery crime novel. Basically, the world is about to end because there's a meteor coming that's gonna crash into Earth. That's the sci-fi element of it. So the whole world is just kind of like, there's a bunch of people that are like, well, we're all gonna die anyways, so let's just do whatever the heck we want. And then there's others that are still trying to make some form of normalcy out of their lives. So anyways, there's a bunch of people that have also ended up just deciding that they don't even want to experience it. So they end up hanging themselves, which is sad. But this book was actually really interesting. I found it very engaging, and I definitely will be continuing on with the series to see what happens, because throughout this whole book, you know, we're waiting to see when the meteor is supposed to hit. But anyways, it was a fun ride. I liked it. But this is also the conclusion of this vlog because I did not read 7 books in 7 days. I completed 4 in 7 days, with the 5th one, you know, a couple days after that. So I failed. It's okay. But anyways, I just wanted to get on here and say thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. Also, subscribe if you want to, and hit that bell notification so you can see when I post new videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!